Hey, Jawsy. Things are going all right for sure. How are you doing? How's your arm feeling? Is it healing up nicely? I hope so for sure. Regardless, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. And yeah, we're definitely pretty happy with the run itself at the moment. Things are looking fairly smooth, and somehow we haven't managed to get Gilgamesh killed yet, so that's a miracle in its own right, really. I also feel like the vast majority of my characters recently have all very much struggled with willpower, so it feels weird to see that wizard and not immediately go into, you know, a minor level of panic. But here we are. Maxed out willpower, no problems whatsoever. Feeling nicely regained a lot of use. Luckily the break wasn't too bad. Nice, I'm very glad to hear it. You'll be back to mountain biking again in no time. There we go. So yeah, vaults, not too bad. The majority of bad damage that we've taken has been kind of just my own fault. I mean, I'm still doing similar things here where I'm just fighting things when I should potentially be, you know, putting in some level of strategic consideration. But that's what confidence will do to you, kids. Immediately just run headfirst into all of life's problems without a care in the world until we start having to just blow all of our expendables because I'm almost dead. But hasn't happened yet. So, as we all know, by probability, that means it will never happen. If it hasn't happened yet, it never will, and we're just good to go. Let's turn off our brains and just start O-tabbing our way through the rest of the game, shall we? It's perfect. But there we go. That's exactly what we did not want to see. Again, one of the few fights that we're still having a lot of trouble with are any of these ranged sons of guns. We'll see how it goes. Only lasted a bit longer, for which they're Sapid. Oh, hello friends. You're all in weird places. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of cold damage because we have so many walls next to us. Definitely murder you before that gets out of hand. And let's shut the door so I don't have this Yaktar just staring deeply into my eyes as I try and get in a little bit of R&R before we continue on our journey. Perfect. So far nothing too terrible. Again, we would probably like to see our defenses get to a slightly better spot in the near future, but we'll see how it all works out. Some hit with a sudden onslaught of hiccups. Hopefully that doesn't impede too much my ability to spew nonsense out my mouth hole. That's the dream, at least. Not too shabby. Guess at some point we can also think about what was I just thinking about? Increasing our translocation skill training so that Manifold Assault is slightly higher spell power. I believe for the most part there, or if maybe in totality, it just increases the number of targets that can be selected. But that still goes a long way for making it a much better source of AoE here. And wow, those Freezy boys definitely do alright for themselves in this kind of a scenario. A bit more dangerous than I expected, especially with the might coming into play at the end there, but never a concern for Gilgamesh. And we'll just keep rolling through it like nothing even happened. It's wonderful. Free XP, yeah. That's the dream. More free XP for everyone for life. Okie dokie. Starting to get probably slightly more surrounded than is recommended here. That hubris showing its ugly face here for sure, but we should be okay. Again, it's so nice not having to worry about the alarm effect, I guess the marked effect that those sentinels can put down on us here in vaults as well. I could get used to this. Let's just get an amulet of the wind in every one of our runs from now on. That seems pretty nice and easy. Good solution, you know. Let's check it out. Passage of Galubria. That's another one of those spells that everyone raves about that I just need to learn how to use at some point. Because I've even watched occasionally, you know, hopping into some like 9th stream and seeing it in practice. But I have never. I should also potentially do a quick search here for dragon form. Not yet, but we're on the lookout. We're on the hunt and the search for dragon form. It's just the logical extension after going storm form for the majority of the mid game here. And definitely kill that Convoker before they do anything they'll regret. The Revenant, I wasn't sure how we'd deal with, but turns out no problems whatsoever. And there I go speaking too early again, but we'll be fine, I'm sure. Just kill everyone. And at least we have the cleaving attack, so that helps out with the whole mass murder strategy. Wonderful. Ooh, never mind. Oh, we took a lot of damage right at the end of the fight there. That could have gone very poorly, but never doubt in my mind. We, of course, never don't have it. And so we'll just continue going like nothing even happened. I guess we could do a quick peek. What was the sword like that you had? Plus 10 longsword. Vorpal and fire resistance. I mean, could probably put that on. It's not that much better than a plus 8 war axe with some intelligence on it to boot, which is definitely helpful to its cause. Something to maybe at least think about, keep in the back of our minds. I feel like there have been a lot of things that have been placed in that category in this run in particular. But even the Convokers, we don't mind getting their stuff popped off if we plan to just kill everyone. It truly is a thing of beauty. And this should be, for the most part, a tab fight until Stormform leaves us at the most inopportune moments, and I stand there taking so many arrows directly to the face. One of these days that tabbing will get me killed yet, but hopefully not today. And then we'll be okay. And we'll do it my way. Lovely. Onwards and upwards we go. So vaults definitely hasn't seemed too bad so far. We can probably start making our way through depths as well without too much of a problem. The next question, of course, becomes, what do we wish to do for Rune 3? Do we want to try slime again? Do we want to maybe mix it up, go with like the end of vaults? I don't know how much I really feel like doing the Abyss. This isn't a bad character for it, but the majority of spellcasters, I generally trend away from Abyss because you very much do not want to find yourself low on mana in the middle of a terrifying situation. Let's get away from some of these walls as the Frostheart shows up to try and do some business in this here part of the vaults. We can't allow that. We're trying to start a monopoly, and we want to be the only one to perform any level of business transactions here. At least if all goes according to plan. The Demigod of Indents indeed, the most terrifying kind. Ooh. Okay, I see how it is. Demonologist actually doing some good work in terms of what they bring to bear. Or I guess it could have been you as well. No, okay, it was Demonologist. At least you should die relatively quickly. Do I dare trust something like Manifold Assault? If it just takes out bodies and doesn't take care of the summoner, then I'm no longer a happy camper. Especially when I can kind of just be a little bit cheeky here and keep the poison coming down. Ouch. There it is. But then we can just murder everything in one fell swoop. Absolutely lovely. I guess that's maybe a good lesson as to why you don't want to summon demons unless you're truly prepared for the consequences of your actions, because oh whoops, I'm trying to Manifold Assault instead of Stormform. Whoopsie daisies. But really, the assist on that entire pack kill has got to go with the Miz a little, because, and that's not a word that I can say when it's not directly in front of me, but I feel like the Symbol of Torment wreaked havoc. Just enough havoc to let me come in with the alley-oop and finish the job, which you love to see. Manifold Assault to finish everyone off there real quick, and we'll just keep shooting our way through vaults here. It's definitely something to be said for our current speed, able to take care of most of these things through either tab or the Magician's equivalent of tab, which is of course just to pee on everything. All about that key. The key, of course. Let's also do a quick check that I'm not getting emergency messages here. It's looking all good. Fantastic. I also actually forgot to disconnect my headphones from my phone today, because if anyone tries to call me during stream, it usually leads to some panic as the phone call ends and my computer starts autoplaying whatever it is that I played last. At least wreaking havoc with our wonderful tunes, and we can't have that. How was Canada Day? It was alright. I don't celebrate Canada Day too much, especially since there's been a big push recently to kind of stop celebrating it quite so much and instead focus on, you know, Indigenous issues and rights. But still had a nice relaxing day, helped some friends move condos, so I'm definitely a little bit sore. I haven't done physical labor in far too long, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to start working out one of these days, never actually getting around to it. So I'm starting to feel it a little bit for sure. Between that and all the yard work I've been doing, trying to tear a stump out of our yard, it's been a bit of a mess for sure. One of your most recent used keys on mages is usually the, it's not even like the apostrophe. I always forget what that is. The understudy of the tilde key to repeat the last action, but that's fair enough. Yeah, you hear me? This is gonna be one of the worst Independence Days you've ever had. Yeah, I can definitely feel that. You call it a tick? That's a good word for it. That definitely is evocative of the key itself. Oh, geez Louise, you, my friend, are going to hit like a truck. And hey, Cowboy Jim, thank you so much for the Prime. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for dropping on by to send that my way. I hope that you're having a wonderful weekend, as with everybody, of course. But thank you. And yeah, no, I definitely wish the best for everyone in the States right now. It's definitely going to be an interesting 4th of July, to say the least. You know, there is a lot of movements opening to take place. I wish you all the best of luck. A cute backtip left quote or an open quote. The internet. There are so many of those keys that I don't think I could have named myself for sure, because I don't really use them too much. You watch more on YouTube? You know, I was thinking, Cowboy Jim, that I recognize the name, and I think it might be from the YouTube side of things. But welcome. Thanks for dropping on this way and showing some support. I appreciate it. And you know, I'm dumb safe it. I thought for a second that a bunch of those were different keys, but a cute backtip left quote or an open quote are all what they call that one, hey? Well, how about that? Oh, it is an open quote. I've never really noticed that before, that it's just the flip of the apostrophe / single quote. How about that? How about that? How does Prime work? Your girlfriend has it and doesn't watch Twitch, but does this account have to be the same email as her Amazon? I do believe so. Yeah, I think it's on your Amazon Prime account, or the account that has Amazon Prime. But But there's no need to use hers or anything if that's what you're thinking about. I am always just grateful for any support that all of you lovely folks show. Even just showing up. Does have to be. Okay, yeah, I thought that might be the case. Safe, had you linked your wife's Amazon account to this one and used her Twitch Prime? She'll never know. I guess that's one way to do it. I mean, it is tough. I'm sure there are so many people out there that don't use their Prime at all. Because maybe they don't even use Twitch whatsoever, or it's just not something that has come to mind. I know that, like, most of my wife's family was that way for the longest time. Because they just never really were on Twitch, but they definitely had the Prime service for the deliveries and whatnot. So now we basically just use those Primes as a rotating set to go between people that we enjoy. Wax is the only stream that you watched, so you wanted to make it work? Well, no, thanks, Jawsy. I do appreciate the sentiment regardless. And no need to put in any extra work or effort to make it happen. I see you and I appreciate you just for the thought itself, so thank you. Guess you can always try to link them. Yeah, again, whatever works for you, but no worries. I always feel weird about money stuff in general. That has not gone away at all with starting to do stuff on Twitch more and more. You stop paying for Prime, there doesn't seem to be much benefit to it anymore. Definitely fair enough. It kind of depends on how much you get stuff delivered, and I almost don't want to be encouraged to deliver stuff more because packaging is a nightmare and it just creates so much waste. But I've never really been in danger of too much of that stuff because I don't really buy that much stuff. I'm somebody who's more so a hoarder than a spender. Why buy anything at all when I can just keep running each and every one of my current possessions into the ground through wear and tear, you know? And yeah, this is going to be a lot of cold damage, so let's definitely just irradiate the heck out of that son of a gun. And not too shabby here so far. Hey, Crackety Jones, run is going pretty fantastic. We got Stormform online fairly early this evening. And it has been... Ooh. Excuse me? I love an Untimed Bazaar? How much money do I have right now? I mean, 1,500 pieces is not too shabby. No, definitely going well here. Picked up on you order very occasionally, and usually the order would be enough to get free shipping anyway, and you never cared about next day. Yeah, I think I'm in a very similar boat to you in that regard. It was nice when it had ad-free on old Twitch, but that got nixed. Yeah, because now it's just ad-free on the Twitch channel that you prime to, right? I feel like that's a talking point that I've heard streamers bring up enough times. I should have it memorized by now. May as well finish Vaults 4 and see what's in the shops. I guess so, right? Make a little bit more cash before we head in. I'm still gonna do a little bit of an inventory shuffle now that it's on my mind. See if there's anything we want to get rid of, like even the Ring of Positive Energy. Do I wanna nix that one? Potentially. Also, am I only wearing one ring? I'm only wearing one ring, folks. Whoopsie daisies. So let's see, when I'm in Stormform, I'm back to having no resistances. So yeah, let's fix that. Put that bad boy on right away. No wonder that cold damage was coming in hard and fast. Terrifying in retrospect, but never didn't have it, so that is all fine. Hello, my boulder beetle friend. Let's just keep shoving you back right as you are on the cusp of achieving greatness. Perfect. You're ad-free on any channel that you're sub to, or rather, streamers can even disable that, but basically nobody does. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't exactly want to discourage people from trying to take advantage of the slight benefits you get for subscribing. Okie dokie, there's the rest of the floor. I think I will just head in. Technically there could be you know, a plethora of amazing things that we wish to buy, and I will regret being so hasty. But let's just try it on out and see what happens, shall we? We'll just drop a bunch of stuff that we may or may not pick up immediately upon our exit, and let's check it out, shall we? What have we got for sale? +5 Demon Whip Spellbinder. It's fun, but not for us, unfortunately. What else do we see? Ah. Grand Grimoire, not exactly what we needed. Necronomicon, I don't think I want. I mean, again, we could always pivot into Necromancy if we so desire, but it's not a huge deal, and Book of Collins is not going to do it. Unfortunately, no Dragon Form, which is kind of what we were crossing the fingers and hoping for in that shop, but that's fine, because guess what? I got another shop. Let's see. Not quite there. We could get Ozakuba's armor, now that we just know that it works, and just because we can be covered in ice and electricity at the same time, but I'm not going to worry too much about pushing that. Book of the Warp. I guess we could take Dispersal of Disjunction. That's another avenue for us to throw experience as we continue onwards. Noah Bazaar, you're panicking that I was just going to try out V5? Oh, geez, yeah. You know, just a casual dipping of the toes into one of the scariest places in the mid-game. You're tempted by the armor, to be honest, and you don't know why? That's fair enough. Ah, now this is where things get interesting. Okay, so Lunak, resist poison and willpower, not even a little bit necessary. Quisil with Arlek, RF, RN, and our corrosion. That is very tempting. Let's mark it temporarily here. The amulet, nothing I think is going to be able to convert me from the Amulet of the Winds at this point in time. But okie dokie, yeah, we might as well buy this ring since we don't have too much that we desperately need to get our hands on here. So let's grab that. Oh man, with any non-demigod, that Faith Amu would have been amazing, right? It's not too shabby there. I mean, just having these alone, that willpower could very likely hurt, but still not too shabby. Not for us today, though. Ring is pretty nice. Pick up RN and our corrosion over our fire ring. I think so, yeah. And it still gives us a little bit of fire resistance. We do lose the cold resistance, which is kind of sketchy. Oh, that was a minus. Your stream quality betrayed you. That makes sense why you were so excited about it then, because that would have been incredible. As is, it's just pretty dang incredible. Pretty dang solid. But okie dokie. I guess we can decide what we want to do with that ring later. Is there anything else in here that we wanted? Don't really think so. Like, party tricks, what do you even have? Apportation we already know. So pretty much nothing is what I'm seeing. Wait, were we rocking just a regular RF ring? Not at the moment, no. I mean, this ring could definitely go as well. It's starting to not be too necessary. We're only getting menial benefits from it. We have enough mana to generally get through each of these fights. So that's probably the one that will actually switch. The reason why I'm tempted to get rid of this ring here is because this corrosion, I'm waiting for it to come back and bite me in the butt, because I know that it's possible that it's just around the corner waiting for me to, you know, slip into some level of comfortability, some safety and security, just to pull that rug out from under us. But our corrosion ring can stay on the floor now, positive energy ring could probably stay on the floor now, and that frees up a heck of a lot of inventory space, so that is perfect. You like the big combo resist rings, but not because they're actually useful in combat. It just saves inventory space. And it saves inventory management too, right? Like, yeah, having to constantly swap between rings. I mean, A is just a bit of a pain in the butt, but the other reason is that it can, what was I thinking about? Oh gosh, immediately blanked out completely. But the other reason is that it saves me from my own stupidity of just forgetting to swap rings, because I hate to admit that that is something that has been a factor in the past. I don't know, Thothon. Messages are showing up only on the on-stream chat log. Wonder if that's happening on mine as well. I think I can see yours, so that seems to be okay. And thank you so much, Jawsy, for the prime. I appreciate it. Everyone's rolling with us today. I guess you got it working. Get owned, it works. Perfect. No, thank you for taking the time to get that set up. I do appreciate it. It's changing apostrophes to weird code. Oh no. Sounds like your computer might be possessed. Have you ever thought about calling an exorcist, Thelphon? You might have a bit of a poltergeist in the machine situation going on. B5 time? Not quite yet, Dan Branny, but it might be on the list. We were debating just a little bit ago where we want to end up for our third rune. Vaults 5 is a contender with this character for sure. We can put out a decent amount of hurt for sure. Alternatively, I mean, it's probably going to be slime. But for the time being here, let's not worry too much about it, and let's just make our way over to depths, which we, of course, haven't found the entrance to. Whoops, let's go to D14 instead. Perfect. I think we might have left just before finding the entrance to depths, because D15 was getting a wee bit sketchy. Also, that's where you should probably check what the stair looks like before heading down. But we never don't have it, so not as much of a concern for us as a god player, you know, as a god gamer. But okie dokie, let's take on some of these sons of guns and bring you back to our stairwell. Welcome home, my friend. In fact, let's just play it a little bit safe here, replenish all of our magic before we head once more into the breach. And most likely just murder everything, at least if it all goes according to plan. You do love to see it. Isn't this technically godless gaming? You do have a point. Though, are we godless, or do we just egotistically self-worship to a point of extreme, you know? Really makes you think. Hello, my friend. We should be able to take on a little baby Hydra after all this time. Ooh, Ezreal. Hello, how are you? It's kind of sad when you are able to beat uniques just by using the mage's tab key, but to be fair, we are very much assuming the role of an out-of-depth character here. Coming way later to this section of the game than we normally would, and it just feels absolutely incredible to do so. Ooh, hello, what do you have for sale, my friend? Garbage, wow, thanks. Well, we'll just keep moving past that one, I guess, and not think too hard about it. Not too shabby. Oh, wow, that is quite the vault. Hello, friends. Oh, geez. And you're terrifying in your own right. I've never seen that many spells on a ghost before. Holy moly. I call 28 stones garbage? Wow, just wow, stay humble, okay? No, my plan is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody's the thing, so that includes those rocks. Get absolutely wrecked. I will not remember you when I'm rich and famous, my poor stone friends. It's basically, are we Heracles or are we Gaston? Really just the amalgamation of the two, all the best parts from every demigod to ever walk this earth, which I don't know if I'd consider Gaston to be in that same department. I don't know, it takes some incredible skill to eat 12 dozen eggs multiple times throughout the day, I guess. If we're talking about the same Gaston. Oh my gosh, it's the first time that I've gone to depths and I don't have to be concerned about earth mages. Gaston would consider Gaston to be in that department. That is very much a fair assessment, yes. But okie dokie, not too shabby. We are calling a lot of attention to the stairs here, which is always a little bit frightening to a certain extent, but we'll be just fine if we just, you know, believe in the power of friendship and keep it going here. Look, this man doing his due diligence rather than just run to his second rune immediately. Well, that's because we did already run to our second rune immediately, but the point still stands for rune 3 for sure. even the slightest amount of due diligence is a wild stretch of believability when it comes to my usual style of play. Ooh. Great Wizards Volume 2? Okay, everyone knows Great Wizards Volume 2 is trash. It's all about Volume 7. I mean, like, the chapter on Dragon Form in particular. You son of a gun. It's just a tiny passage, but it's the only good part of 7 too. The rest of it is trash, I tell you. Garbage. Well, let's see. Spatial Translocations, not too much going on there. Book of Spheres, I think, has a lot of high damage. So could get some of this going if we feel the need to. Book of the Hunter, I don't think has anything that I'm too interested in. One of these days, Dragonform will show up. Yeah, no worries on the Blink side of things. We do actually have Blink, we just haven't had the need to use it. You know me, Blink is going to save my life. I think it might have already saved our life previously in this run. The hardest part about Blink, though, is me remembering to use it. So as long as we can try to encapsulate that possibility into any encounter here, we may just make it through in one piece. Let's switch over to Manifold Assault as the crowd starts picking up in pace here. Not too shabby. Hide in my little corner. Heal up real quick. Perfect. But I think we have Blink, right? I should have actually double-checked that instead of just saying it so confidently, but there we go. Perfect. It's there at least. We're up to 5 spell levels, so if I want MCC, which I kind of do, it's down to 4%, so that's very usable. That is wonderful stuff. How do I get that many points, though? I don't really want to get rid of anything. I guess Fulminant Prism could probably go at this stage in the game. There's a temptation to get rid of OTR and Ignite Poison now that we've kind of upgraded beyond them, but I don't think I can stomach that. I don't think I have it in me. So let's forget Fulminant Prism real quick, like. And instead, I want insta-kill. Please and thank you. Won't be super useful, except maybe uniques might be a good opportunity to test that out. The scary part there is we're not super defensive, so staying alive long enough for it to zap somebody to oblivion might be the next thing to try and tackle and get under control. How close was Zombie Hands? It's probably in like the 30s, 40s, if I had to guess. Because we haven't done any training. 32, yeah. But yeah, we could start training even just Necromancy, get Zombie Hands up and running, get Death Channel up in the background too. Wouldn't even take that much to get there. I've just been dumping all of my experience in unarmed combat for the longest time here. In fact, let's throw on dodging in the background. Let's throw on maybe a little bit of evocations, a sprinkling, just a dab of such. And then, do I want to learn Necromancy? Let's learn just a little bit of Necromancy. Again, just dabble. We're a dabbler of sorts when it comes to magic. Perfect. Should also probably get around to swapping that ring that was part of the plan when we went through the bazaar, and it's just kind of slipped my mind. Oh wow, that's an interesting ring right there. I don't think we'll use this. Strength -5 is no good for us right now, but int +8, I mean the slay -6 is terrible for us, again, because we are a semi-hybrid. We're not quite all the way there, but it's at least in that general direction. So no good for me, but an interesting ring. That's the thing, I'm a sucker, of course, like anyone, for just stupidly overpowered ring that has everything you could possibly ask for in life. But there's something to be said when you find those artifact items that are the perfect blend of good and bad. Where, you know, the trade-off is just ever so slightly in your favor, or even greatly in your favor, just based on what kind of character you're running. I find that super fun to run into. It definitely keeps the game interesting, to say the least. But there we go. That is pretty much all of Depths 1. Not too shabby. Only slight amounts of danger, and that's pretty much as good as it gets. Ooh. And there's even some secrets. Staff of Poison, I'm gonna immediately trash that, throw it on the ground. Of course, Staff of Holy Wrath. It's interesting, but not for me.